Can't sleep? Wondering what you need to do to get a good night's sleep? I'm Simon Lim, I'm Medcan's fitness manager, and I'm your host today for the Eat, Move, Think podcast. Now, before we dive into this episode, I'm going to be demonstrating a lot of these exercises, so you may want to watch this episode while you're listening. So first, let's talk about why you might not be sleeping very well. This could be down to a number of reasons, such as stress, anxiety, inconsistent routines, also possibly a lack of exercise. Exercise can be great for helping improve your sleep, but when you exercise is extremely important. If you just coast throughout the whole day, you struggle to understand when you're meant to be sleeping and when you're meant to be stressed. Exercise helps regulate that pattern, and if you work out intensely in the middle of the day, chances are at night, you're going to be a lot more tired as your body understands that it's time to rest and calm down. And it also tells your body when you're meant to be stressed, alert, and doing things. What types of exercise helps you sleep better? That's purely down to when the timing is. If your goal is to do a bit of exercise before going to bed, highly recommend doing either exercise that incorporates breathing techniques such as yoga, Tai Chi, or even just low impact stretching that allows you to understand where your body is, make sure you're aware of what's tight and what's loose. Some of the best exercises for helping improve sleep are mobility exercises and also exercises that force you to focus on your breathing. One example would be 1990 stretches. The reason why I might recommend this to some clients is if a client suffers from tight glutes, lying in bed for 8 hours of the day, when you wake up, those glutes are going to be fairly tight. Therefore, doing some 1990s before and possibly after bed is going to help loosen off that lower back for you and remove any extra tightness in the posterior. The most effective way to do a 1990 stretch will be to have both knees set at 90 degrees and then keeping your chest up, back straight, core tight, using your arms, very slowly lowering your body down. And then when you feel the stretch, that's when you stop, hold, stretch out your glute for 30 seconds, and then slowly ease off of the stretch. Another great exercise to help improve your sleep would be windshield wipers. I use this for clients quite a lot of the time because they can do it in their bed if they really wanted to. But for windshield wipers, you want to be lying on the floor, arms at the side anchored onto the ground so you can push off of them, knees bent at 90 degrees, and then very slowly lowering your legs down to one side, keeping your knees bent just before they touch the ground, lifting back up, and then lowering your legs onto the other side. If you do this slow enough, you can build up the awareness of your core and understand what's going on in your back. Keep your lower back secure on the floor. Keep your shoulders pinned to the ground, but let the hips move independently. You're allowing the musculature in the abdominals to control your legs and your lower body. This is going to allow you to detect any tightness that may cause discomfort during your sleep. It will also strengthen the muscles and strengthen your spine to prevent you getting tightness when you wake up afterwards. Another great exercise or stretch, depending on where you put in your workout, is a thoracic windmill. The reason for this, a lot of people during the day, you're sitting at a desk and your chest in a shortened position. Over time, that can get tight. Other exercises that may involve that, if you play tennis, if you play golf, it is very anteriorly loaded. Therefore, your chest or your pec muscles are prone to be getting tight. The thoracic windmill, as we lie down on the floor, have your foam roller parallel to your spine, bring your knee up at 90 degrees, and then from there, with your arm that's furthest away from the floor, right above the head, drawing as big a circle as you can on the ground. Try not let your hand leave the floor. Feel the stretch around the chest and the shoulder. Any particular areas that are tighter than normal, linger there and spend a bit more time to try and loosen off that area of the joint. Going for about 6 reps per side, change direction, and then change side. That's going to allow you to have looser shoulders for your sleep, and when you wake up in the morning, if you're not sleeping on your side, you shouldn't be waking up with a tight chest either. When's the best time to do aerobic exercises, and how is that going to affect your sleep? You don't want to be doing that fast-paced aerobic exercise right before going to sleep. And I would also say ease off of the high coordinative technical workouts. Those are going to light up your central nervous system and make you a bit more alert, and that'll be a bit harder to try and calm yourself down when you're lying in bed afterwards. So to get your aerobic exercise in, and if you want to help with improve your sleep pattern, going for your walk at sunset can be a great tactic, as walking at sunset, you'll get stimulated from the UV light. That will also help set your circadian rhythm, so then your body understands when there's light and when there's darkness. As the sun starts to set and you take in the darkness, your body will calm down, and that will set you up for going to sleep at night. If you can't get out for a walk during sunset, it's definitely important to reduce your blue light activity, for example, from your laptops, from your phones, from your tablets. Because that will also seriously affect your sleep quality. And then also, if you've not worked out and the sun's already set, don't worry. Definitely don't work out at 8:30 p.m. But try and get your workout in as early as possible, preferably before dinner. Your digestive system is already raring to go, and then you'll have digested all your food before you go to sleep. That will definitely improve your sleep quality. What are the best strength training exercises for sleep? Well, it depends. What are you feeling when you go to sleep? Or for example, if you feel tightness before or after you go to sleep, it could be beneficial to get a personal trainer to target those areas that you're feeling tight. They may need strength training, or they may need to be stretched out. So for example, glute circles could be a very great strength exercise for a client that may be suffering from weak glutes or tight hips. Maybe their hips are too tight and it's inhibiting their glute engagement. So I would then get the client on all fours, lift their leg out to the side, and then draw as big a circle with their knee as they can, slow and controlled, while coaching them through core stability. Going through 6 reps per direction on each side over the course of a couple of weeks will help strengthen the glutes, strengthen the core, make the core more stable, and then make the client less prone to tight backs. So in the end, any exercise can help improve your sleep quality, but it really depends on, as long as it is relevant, the intensity is at the right time of day, and it promotes balance and is not promoting any sort of imbalance within the body. So then therefore you can go to sleep and wake up without any sort of tightness. If you'd like to know more about our fitness programs at Medcan, we'll put all that information in our show notes. Thank you for listening to this episode. We hope you found some useful material, and we hope to see you in the gym floor.
This podcast episode is intended to provide general information about health and wellness only, and is not designed or intended to constitute or be used as a substitute for medical advice, treatment, or diagnosis. You should always talk to your Medcan healthcare provider for individual medical advice, diagnosis, and treatment, including your specific health and wellness needs. This podcast is based on the information available at the time of preparation and is only accurate and current as of that date. Source information and recommendations are subject to change based on scientific evidence as it evolves over time. Medcan is not responsible for future changes or updates to the information and recommendations, and assumes no obligation to update based on future developments. Reference to or mention of specific treatments or therapies does not constitute or imply a recommendation or endorsement. The links provided within the associated document are to assist the reader with any specific information highlighted. Any third-party links are not endorsed by Medcan.